Hi there guys, and welcome to a dark and wintry night somewhere on the Great Western Railway, the Great Western Main Line should I say. Today's a follow-on video from the Class 66 video that was my previous release, and we did the disposal duties after us in service, and we looked at the wagons and all that sort of thing. Today we are going to be doing the sort of preparation duties. That's what they'd call them in the railway world. So this is what you have to do to get a loco up and running. This one we're going to say has been stabled overnight. So we'll start going through the manual. This is using a real world EWS Class 66 manual. This is the preparation and disposal duties. So it's locomotive preparation and static duties 4.1. Don't want to give up. So, introduction. This section of the manual covers the recommended procedures for preparation and setup of a locomotive. The procedures are briefly outlined and do not contain detailed explanations. Equipment locations or functions have been described in section 3. The information in this section is arranged in sequence, beginning with exterior ground inspections in preparation for the driving service, with the instructions for pre-start checks in both non-driving and driving compartments. And then there's a note box. If you're familiar with these videos, you'll know there's lots of these manuals have notes. On JT42 CWR locomotives, which is what a 66 is, the preparation sequence must always commence at number 1 end, where the electrical control cabinet is situated. The reverse and master key handle is kept in the driver's lockable cupboard in the vestibule. The following preparation procedures assume the number 1 compartment will be the driving end of the locomotive. A Class 66 walk-around plan is illustrated in Figure 4.1 on pages 4 and 4.2. Okay. So, we start off with ground inspection. That's why I'm outside the cab. Make sure there are no not to be moved targets or red flags displayed. If applicable, verify all connections between vehicles are correctly attached. Check that no external supply cable are connected. Make sure the fuel supply is fuel. Is fuel supply is fuel? Oh, well, you should check it's fuel, because if it's not, you're in trouble. If it's full, close the battery isolation switch on the left of the battery box. We won't be able to do that because that's not modelled, I know that already. Observe the parking brake chain to make sure the parking brake is on. That, if you didn't watch my last video, we can do. Another reason I wanted to do this at night is just I thought this was quite atmospheric, quite immersive. And then look what they give you. Only a torch! How cool is that? Wintry, windy night. And we're going to be checking out our loco by torchlight. Love it. So what we're looking for, any not to be moved signs. Oh, there's a little bit of snow on the buffers there. No, there's none of those sticking out of any cabs. And there is nothing on the front. So this is number 2 end, if I remember rightly. Can I see from here? Yes, number 2 end. Okay. Chains for the parking brakes. This should be at a slight angle, not completely horizontal, and it is. It's at a slight angle there. Slight, it's a fair angle to be fair. This actually does change in game. I'll come back and show you later. It's really, really, really cool. And for some reason, when you've got the torch on it, it sort of shows up the weathering a little bit better. Lots of people have been going on about how clinical this all is, and yeah, you're right. The body sides are spankingly spotless, but the underframe of the 66 is got a bit of wear to it, a bit of rust here and there and everything. But anyway, not doing a review, was doing this. So right, we've done that. Next thing we need to do is our walk around. Okay, so we start at this is like a little walk around map thing. So we start first of all. It's like one of those mazes. I'll share this to the face of the. I'll even take the picture of it now. I'll share this to the Alan Thomson Simulations Facebook page so you can see it. It is literally like one of those mazes you used to get on a Dennis the Menace book or something. So we start there, we go down. I think that's in the cab. through the body and out. Ah, right. So I was really hoping to be able to do the full walk around and everything, but we can't. Because we can't go through the locomotive. So let's just have a look. Let's double check that. No, we can't. So that's a bit annoying. We'll have a walk around anyway. We'll just check everything else again. We didn't check our fuel gauge actually, so let's have a look at that. Yeah, that's full. 6,819. That's not the litres that are in it, is it? Is it? I don't know. And as we said, we'd check it. We need to check it. Fuel is fuel. We will check. Yep. Smells like diesel. Okay, next on my list, because we want to get in the cab, because we're a bit cold out here. So enter the number 1 driving cab from the left hand side. That's this cab. We'll just shut that over because it's cold. Check the EM2000 display for fault messages and make certain that the parking brake is applied and not released. So, parking brake applied. Does it give us a fault menu? Uh, 6399, 638 litre was. Crew messages. Parking brake is applied. No, I don't want to give out control. No other messages on there, so we're fine. Parking brake is applied. The on button's there. Make certain that the stop button locking device is deactivated. Now this isn't actually modelled. There we go. It's pulled out. There we go. Yep, sweet. So on the electrical control cabinet on the number 1 in the number 1 end of the cab, check the following. All circuit breakers are in the shaded section of the circuit breaker panels and are set. These are required on for operation. Other circuit breakers on as requested. So let's have a look up here. I know there is positions for these, but I want to do it like we're looking at it properly. I'll tell you what we can have on. Because we know where battery is live, we can have the cab light on. So yep, these are all on. Apart from the fire detection isolate. We'll flick that on. Yeah. And AWS TPWS is on. So have a look in here. I should really turn always run off. Even though it's actually not making much difference here in the cab. They're all on. Perfect. Was that one? It wasn't on, was it? Yeah, it was. No, I don't want to give it up. The AWS isolation switch is sealed in the on position, and the DSD isolation switch is correct, and the ground relay cutout sealed. Ground relay cutout switch is sealed. Whereas the ground relay cutouts there, and then TPWS AWS is up there. That's fine. DSD isolate. That's actually on. We want that on, yeah. Verify that fire extinguisher is in place and ready for use. Yeah, there it is. It's in place. It hasn't got a pressure gauge indicator on it, so I'll just say that that is ready for use. Obtain the reverser handle master key from driver's cupboard and verify the repair book contains no serious defects that have not been signed off. Check that the driver's manual and parking brake manual handle are available. So that'll be for pumping it off, so you can probably hydraulically activate the parking brake if the button wasn't working or you didn't have enough pressure or whatever. So we've got that. In the vestibule, check that the detonator case, brake stick, track circuit operating clips are in accordance with the rulebook section H. Now, we haven't got any in there. We haven't got any in here either, and we can't go through. Didn't even know that door was this side, actually, to be fair. So we've done that now. So we've done the battery isolation switch. Parking brake is applied, and we will start the engine. All right. So we need that on. We've got our parking brake set. Now we are going to switch on there we go. So now we're going to switch on the marker lights and the headlight on and the tail light off and check that all brake control switch is at service. That's in service. What did it ask for? Marker lights and headlights. We're night time as well, so that's those on. Check that the direct air brake valve is at release and the auto air brake controller is hold vertical. No, it's not, so we need to change that. So direct brake is now on release. And now we're going to proceed to the non-driving compartment. So that's the other end. And in here we need to check that the release air brake's straight, just like the other one. Switch on tail lights on as necessary. Check the brake light, the brake test switch is in service. So we've got that, and we want tail lights on. Close and lock all windows and doors and return to the driving compartment. That's simple. to get back in the chair. We need to check that the DSD. Yep, that seems to be working, and the auto air brake seem to both be operating. Yeah, I've got some airflow there. That's brakes coming off there. That's nice. Apply the direct air brake and release the parking brake. So we want this fully on, and then we're going to remove the parking brake with this button here. You usually have to press and hold this, and it goes. Same with a lot of these buttons. You should have to press them for longer. The engine start button, as far as I'm concerned, on most locomotives, you hold it until the engine stop light goes out. I know the 66 doesn't particularly have that, as far as I'm aware, but it's probably for a set amount of time that you have to hold down until it's kicked in or something, I'd guess. What do we need to do next? The locomotive may now be operated as per instruction outlined in section 5. Okay. That's cool. So the change in ends procedure, I'll just read this through for you just so you guys know if you do have to change ends in this thing, is move the auto brake air controller into the apply position, and then hold it there until brake pipe pressure reduces to 3.35 bar, then return the brake control to hold in the vertical position. Check that the direct air brake valves are release, and this is to the handle to the rear. With the reverse handle neutral, remove the master key. Check that the truck brake cylinder pressure has been established in holding truck brake bogie cylinder pressure. I've just lost my place because my phone's just gone off. Switch the marker lights and headlights off. Check that the internal lighting and heating is switched off together, as well as the hot plate. Close and lock all doors and windows. Exit number 1 compartment and proceed to the other end of the locomotive. Enter the active driving compartment. Insert the master key. Handle into the switch. Yada 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 yada. What are we going to do now? I'm just wondering if this has any info on using that brake test switch. And it doesn't seem to. No, so I'm not going to go through the interior stuff with you because it's really long-winded and we haven't got it. So we'll just hop out, we'll have a look around at what the set-up locomotive now looks like. I'll tell you what we'll do in here, just to get us going, is we'll... is there a way to get some heat on in here? I'm sure there is a driver's heating thing somewhere, but we'll use the good old-fashioned way to heat a train cab anyway. Don't have their weird little things. You don't know, so you don't really know what way they're asking you to flick the switch because it's not as obvious. This is actually at a 45-degree angle. This one, so that's now on high. That should be heating up quite nicely and heating the cab up a little bit. Bits that are over here, for those of you who don't know, this is a washer bottle, so that's where your washer fluid goes. Let's just say it's not washer fluid a lot of the time. Really isn't washer fluid a lot of the time. There is definitely something that might not smell like washer fluid after a little while. Can you pick that up? No. Just going to have a look from the outside at what we look like in this cold. Should really turn the cab off in the back. It's See there, I can swing the Buckeye out. Don't know how I'm putting it back, mind. Because I could really do with switching it back. No. You can see I've if you watch the last video, you know that this little box with a mouse came up on it, and it follows my mouse everywhere. I can't work out what it is that's causing it, so I had to go back and do it again. Right. Oh, there we go. That looked like it was going to do something there. There we are. So we're back to the draw hook. Okay. We're going to. Did I not set the tail lights in here? Yes, they are set. That's a bit strange. Right, I'm just going to try once more to get those tail lights on. So we'll try it the opposite way around to every other switch. See if that works. Well, okay, so that's going in the fault book to DTG. It doesn't seem that you can get your tail lights on. Now, considering I noticed on the back of the rake of wagons yesterday that I didn't have any tail light, that's a bit weird. Now, for people that are going to say, well, they might just need to do it and implement it later, we had tail lights in CSX Heavy Haul. So let's take a seat. Let's actually work out our instrument lights. Now have I got tail lights if I do them in the front cab? Yeah, okay, so you can't control the tail lights from the rear cab. Mean looking, isn't it? It's very nice. Was that meant to have snow on it? That wouldn't be there for very long. I'm going to try and do a bit of this journey HUD-free for a laugh. I wasn't actually going to, but considering I've got that irritating mouse issue, it pretty much looks like I'm going to have to. Do like the instrument lights on the 66s. Closing door this time because I was letting all the cold out. Oh. No, I'm pretty sure. No. I shouldn't have the draw hook out. That's not what I wanted. Right, sod the role play for a minute. Let's get this done. No. I can tell you what, guys, this is why there's no shunting scenarios in Train Sim World Great Western Express. Just do this externally to what I need to actually do is fold that Buckeye away again. Because this is a draw hook. Not quite good enough. Go around the other side of the loco and see if it's easier to actually get this to couple up. Well, hey. I would have gone back in the cab that way, but I had the door open, so. Okay then, that's us ready and set to go, but you will have to join me in part 2 of this video to do that. So once again, guys, thanks ever so much for watching. Feel free to like, share and subscribe to this video. And of course, don't forget to check out my Facebook page. Links in the description below for anybody that hasn't found it already. Once again, guys, thanks ever so much. See you soon.